Let me begin by asking you one question. How many amongst you do feel that your friends, your schoolmates, your college mates have actually gone far ahead and you are left behind? Tell me honestly. Majority. Let me tell you about Prateek. Now, Prateek works at Cyber Park, the next building. He felt that his timing is not right. Right? Just 1 week before he met me, let me give you a glimpse of how his life looked like. Sunday night, he's laying down in his bed, looking at the ceiling, staring at the ceiling, feeling that very familiar feeling that you all have, the Monday dread. He gets up, next day morning, he gets up at 5:30, rushes to work so as to avoid the traffic, only to get to know that there is a truck that is stuck in the middle of the road. Finally, he reaches his office and his boss is walking past saying, "You're late." He was late by 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Tuesday, he decides, I'm going to get up even more earlier. He gets up at 5 o'clock, rushes to his work, and he arrives at his work 40 minutes early. Now he's thinking to himself, let me just wait for these people to come in. In the meanwhile, let's listen to some music. He's listening to music in his car, and before he gets to know, he dozes off. The next thing he gets to know is he wakes up at 10:30 to see his boss is staring at him through the windshield. Wednesday, he has a very different plan. He says, I'm going to work from home today. Only to get to know by 10:30, the internet is broken. Not just his, the whole society's. He calls the lineman and says, when it will be fixed, it will take another day to fix. Thursday, a colleague calls in sick. He has to work double the task and no time to breathe. Friday, by 3:30, everyone leaves for a stand-up comedy show, but Prateek is stuck in traffic at 7:45, thinking what has happened to his life. He's stuck in the traffic jam at the red light. He notices things. There is a couple who is fighting in the car next. An old woman who's trying to, manage her bags, trying to cross the street. A dog limping on the pathway. A child crying in an auto. And he's thinking to himself, everything is a chaos. Everything is a mess. Saturday, he spends whole day doing nothing but just contemplating what has his life led to. Sunday, he gathers some courage, unleashes Vishwajit inside him, and finally reaches office to complete his project. Cyberpark. During lunch hours, he's just strolling through the food court. Now, for those of you guests who do not know about this, after this meeting, most of us, we go to Cyberpark and we are sitting there chit-chatting, having food. And whenever I get a chance, I try to help people find some clarity in life. That day, I was discussing something particular with a person. What I was saying was, you're not late, you're running on someone else's clock. Now, Prateek was standing there, he was listening to us for 10 minutes. Nobody noticed, I did not notice him. He thinks to himself, let me just rush to the washroom and come back and join these guys. By the time he came back, we were gone. Now he kept asking everyone at the cafeteria, do you know who these guys were who were sitting here? I just wanted to get myself introduced. Nobody knew because there are hundreds of people walking through that corridor every single day. He searches Bhavish, employee, Cyberpark. Nothing. Searches a few more iterations, nothing comes up. Monday, he asks for some more people about me. No results. Tuesday, he does few more searches, no results. And then finally, he writes Bhavish, guidance, life. He stumbles across my YouTube channel, watches a couple of videos, contacts me, we get in touch, I meet him for the first time. The first time I met him, he was super nervous. He says, Bhavish, I am behind in my life. I need to fix my timing. And I said, Prateek, you don't need to fix your timing. You don't need to fix your timing. You're not running late, you're running on someone else's clock. 11 minutes of complete silence. How do I know? Because I noted. And then he says, I really want your help, but I don't want to come to a therapist or a coach because there's nothing wrong with me psychologically. And I said to him, Do you go and work out? He says, yeah, I do it quite often. I said, consider me as your mind's gym, a mind's spa. It's like cleansing of your mind. Do you wash your car every day? He says, yeah, and once a month I go there for a car wash. I said, consider this as a wash for your brain, but I don't brainwash. That day onwards, he has been coming rigorously. Every month, he has been booking a session and he's coming there. Now, he's a lot successful in his career, the pathway that he's going. What do you think changed in his life? Did the traffic got smoother? No. Did his boss doubt him less? No. What changed in his life?
Perspective.
He found that it was not his timing. He found that it was his rhythm, his own rhythm. And this is what I want to leave you with. You're not running late. You're not running behind. You're running on someone else's clock and you're working on schedules that were not supposed to be yours. If you're thinking you're running behind, let me tell you something. Each individual, every creature on this planet has its own path. You cannot define that path. You cannot even know this path. There is one particular saying that I continue to say every single day to someone whom I encounter. Consider this universe as a large machinery. Now, I have been given a role as a nut. And every single day I'm complaining that I want to be the conveyor belt that I see over there. I cannot be the conveyor belt, but I would be less of a nut. My only job is to become the bestest version of being that nut. So you're not running late, you're running right in time. And the more you move on this path, you will find it's not the solutions start appearing. You will see that you yourself start appearing more fully, completely, and wholly. Thank you so much.